We are about to go live with one of our current students, Kerry from Moonebeam Virtual, and she is a virtual assistant for businesses in the hair and beauty world. And we're going to chat all about how she decided to start her virtual assistant business, why she started it, how she made the decision to go full time and quit her corporate job, and everything in between. Kerry is a mum and has done amazing so far in her business, and we're just going to chat about the highs and lows and everything in between. So let's get Kerry in here. If you have any questions, guys, replay the comment section as well, and myself and Kerry will reply. All getting the girls on. Here we go.
Hello.
How are you, Kerry?
I'm good, Neve. How are things?
I am good. Do you want to introduce yourself for anyone watching from my side?
Yeah, sure. So I am Kerry, the founder of Moonebeam Virtual, and I am a virtual assistant for mostly creatives in the hair and beauty world.
Love it. And I guess going back a little bit, why did you want to start your business?
So I am the mom of two little boys. They're 1 and 2. And I suppose they were kind of a real driving factor in me working for myself and um, I suppose going down the virtual assistant route where I have the flexibility to work my own hours and around their schedule more so than around a more corporate schedule, the nine to
Yeah.
five of an office. My background is in office. I've been working in sales, in all that kind of stuff for about 15 years now. So
Right.
I had two back-to-back maternities, and I think I just said, "Feck it, why not now?" With the lads and their schedules, I said I can do it. I just need a little bit of support. So Niamh, when I was following you for a while, and I was buying what you were selling, so I was like, "Feck it, we'll go for it." And yeah, we launched in June. I can't believe it. Only
June.
like 6 months ago. It's not that long ago. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God. Amazing. Well, you have come so far in just a short few months. So, like, fair play to you. Very inspiring for anyone listening because I get a lot of people who are in similar positions on maternity leave, don't want to or can't go back to work with like young kids. So yeah, you're a credit to what's possible. And I guess on that note, like, what kind of transferable skills did you find that you had from your corporate role that have come into the business?
A lot of it would have been, so I worked in a lot of startups as well. So that's all scrappy, learning new tech stacks, all
Yeah.
that stuff. So I think a lot of that experience is actually something that I am bringing into what I do now. I'm learning a load of new systems myself, and Notion was new to me for the social media side of things, even scheduling on Instagram and Facebook, all that was new to me.
Yeah.
So just having, I suppose, the confidence to take on new systems, new processes for myself. I think that's a big skill that I that I
Yeah.
that I'm using now as well. But even the likes of sales, so any of that kind of everything from lead generation, all that stuff. That's all coming in, for now as well for starting my own business, and then all the marketing side of things as well, and that's transferable to my clients as well. So that's something that I'm actually applying to them, and using for their own strategies.
Okay, amazing. That makes sense that it was startup environments you came from because I feel like you have really kind of just like run with all the new systems, all the new things you're learning and like caught on to them really quickly. So that's obviously linked to your personality, but also linked to just being the person in the startup to kind of like jump at whatever it was kind of, given your way.
Yeah, and working long hours as well. So, I'm used to working in the evenings,
Yeah.
from that experience. And that's something that at the start, I was still on maternity leave when I started. So I didn't finish maternity leave until, was it September, 1st of September.
Yeah.
So there was those couple of months, do you remember those, Neve, where I was
Yeah.
starting the business and things kind of went very quickly with me with getting clients and stuff. And I was still balancing having the two lads at home with myself full time. I didn't have childcare in the summer. So working evenings to get the work done. But again, that's something that I kind of was used to from maybe the startup
Yeah.
background, where I was doing those discovery calls at 10 o'clock at night, but getting that work done, when it needs to be done.
Yeah, okay. So it kind of like had that strong work ethic of like juggling home life and work life from your kind of previous background.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah. And I guess for anyone listening that's maybe thinking about starting a business or is new, that is just what it takes in the short term. It is that balancing act of if you have kids at home or you have a full-time job or you have both, that it's like it's a hard season to get it up and running, and it's definitely a sprint, but it's I guess a testament that it does pay off once you do put in the work.
It does, and I've childcare now, so it's great. All these
Amazing.
hours back in my day.
Yeah, okay, amazing. And then I guess, do you remember like how long ago you came across the virtual assistant world, or why did you decide this business? Because I guess with a sales background, there's lots of different things that you actually could have done. Why did you pick the VA business?
So it's something that, years ago even I was thinking about, because again, I suppose back from working in startups, I'm used to supporting just the CEO. It would have been like a first or second hire with one of the earlier startups that I worked for. So, I really love that, seeing someone's idea and vision come to life as well. So I think virtual assistants can really do that. I suppose with the clients that I'm working with as well, that's something that I am doing. It's maybe not that I can pick and choose my clients from the start, but they're the kind of clients that I like to work for, is where I can see them, see their idea, see their business, and watch that grow. And I think virtual assistants just kind of supports that, because it's
Yeah.
not just, I'm not just, creating templates. I'm not just creating the content or posting it. There's a lot of kind of strategic work that's going on as well. And that's kind of stuff that I really enjoy doing. And I think when you have that working relationship with a client, you get invested in their business. And I think that's more than just an admin support.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that's what a virtual assistant I always think is like the umbrella term for like being an
Yeah.
online support. You can be like an executive assistant, a PA, a you can be an admin assistant, you can be a strategist for someone. I feel like you end up being a little bit of everything for some clients, and I feel like that's really where you've fallen into with the clients that you've been working with.
Yeah, no, exactly. Like I'm doing things that 6 months ago when I started the business, I didn't think I'd be doing.
Yeah.
Everything from supporting a client with their product launch, setting up Spotify, all that, or shop. I keep calling it Spotify, it's Shopify. Stuff like that, where it's something that I'm just diving into, and
Yeah.
I'm just reacting to what their needs are, and they're happy and they trust me with the work. So, it's a win-win, really.
Amazing. And then I feel like you've really taken to social media, like your social media, guys. I'm going to tag Kerry if you're watching the replay. Your social media is amazing. And no, it's so good. I really feel like I'm getting to know you through social. If I didn't know you, like, and connect with you through your Instagram, which is obviously what you want to do to build, and attract people who are like-minded to you. But did you have any like reservations about social media to begin with? Because yeah, like you're really shining on your Instagram, which is like so amazing to
Oh,
see.
like Neil, we've had these conversations. Like it's social. I think I'm the generation just before like all this social media stuff becomes really natural. Like it was such a jump for me. So I never would have posted previously, and I suppose I didn't need to, but in my personal life, but a video like of
Oh
me just
yeah.
speaking in the story or anything like that. Like I
Yeah,
never,
yeah.
all that, it was completely new to me, and it took me a while to kind of get over myself and just be like, Kerry, you're doing this for your business. And I
Yeah.
think I said it to you before in one of our calls, but I literally split myself in two. Like there's the mom Kerry, there's me at home where I'm sitting on the couch and I'm, looking at my own Instagram and I'm going, oh my God, I can't believe I posted that. Like, I posted myself coming out of a mug in one of my
I
stories,
love
and I
that.
was
It's
this
so
close.
good.
But I was this close to posting myself with my head on a croissant, and I was like, okay, there's a line, I'm not going to cross that. But it just kind of becomes, this is for the business, Kerry. You have to do this. People need to know who you are. They don't want to just see facts, or you know what I mean. They
Yeah.
need to get to know who you are. They're buying you as much as they're buying your services. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's just something like, once I had that kind of switch where I was like, it's for the business, Kerry, and I really started enjoying it, and I got kind of a bit creative with it.
Yeah.
I tried to get a little bit fun with it, and I think that's kind of gotten me over it then. So yeah, thanks, that's a great compliment. I'm very happy with how it's going.
Amazing. And I think that's maybe like a really good realization for anyone out there who might be, have reservations about social media is it's your job. It's a tool that you use for business. It's not that you're becoming a blogger or you're just sharing things for the sake of it. Like you're sharing things like even what you're sharing, it's strategic. You're sharing it, you know, to showcase your personality, to build trust with your audience and to land clients. So it's I feel like it's just a section of the business that you need to do in order to get to where you want to be. And I think I completely agree. I would never post anything on my personal page in a million years, not once ever. But business page is different because it does. You're building your community, you're building your network, you're building connections with people. And I think as well, like when you're a small business owner and your business is your baby, like you really need to trust people to let them in, to give them your passwords to everything. So people want to
Mm.
see, like that's why I think your page is like doing looking so well because I can really get a feel for you. And that is really what people like need to see in order to build trust is just like know you're a nice normal person like on the other side of the phone. And can you tell us a little bit if you're comfortable sharing just even the rough story of where you landed your clients from?
Yeah, so it all happened very quickly. So like I said, I started Moonbeam in June. I started with yourself in June.
Yeah.
And I was going in for a massage with a girl. She's a makeup artist actually, and she also does massage and all that. And anyone who's had a child or tension in your shoulders, I was like, right, can't wait for this massage. And we were chatting away, and she actually did my wedding makeup as well, so we have a good relationship anyway.
Yes.
And I was just, chatting away to her, and I said, "Oh, I'm actually going to start a virtual assistant business. I'm not going to go back to the office. I'm going to be doing this." And she was like, "Oh, and her ear, she literally pricked up, and she was like, "Oh, what exactly are you going to be doing? When are you starting, and all this?" And she kind of like just a throwaway comment. She's like, "Oh, geez, that how are you in the morning?" So I was like, "Oh, okay." So that alone kind of spurred me on to go, "Okay, there's definitely an interest
Yes.
here." So then on my next appointment, she was like, "Oh, so have you started that business yet? And when you kicking off?" And I was like, "Yeah, actually, I am. I've started. It's set up." She was like, "Oh, great. Can we start next week?" So that's literally where my first client came from. And she's been so amazing. And she was literally the way that through word of mouth. She works in a salon where a load of other independent stylists and work. So my other clients basically came through her through just referral and word of mouth. So she's been great. So I'm a huge advocate for just chat about your business, any situation. Obviously, don't hi, I've got a virtual assistant business, but when it comes up naturally, you just don't know where people might need your services. So that's where it came from. And yeah, she became my first client, and we're doing great, and I'm delighted. Yeah.
So good. But you know what I noticed there, Kerry, is that you said in that first meeting, I've I've started this business and I'm not going back to the office. You weren't like, I'm gonna try to do this thing, I'll see if it works and we'll play it by ear and I might not go back to work in October. You were definitive from the start. And I was actually writing a social media caption today about not giving yourself a plan B. And you're the first person that came to mind because you didn't give yourself that plan B. You were like, I am doing this. This is what I'm
Yeah.
doing. And that makes a big difference when you are telling people about your business that you don't downplay it. It's this little thing I'm kind of starting, I might do. You're like, I've started a business. I'm starting a business. I'm not going back to the office. So instantly, people are going to have more confidence in you because you have more confidence. You have the confidence in yourself that you're all in from day one. So I definitely think that really, really, really helps your case. With just like those conversations are very pivotal when you show up with confidence and I definitely think it has a part to play in like how things have like panned out for you.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I know people throw around like the phrase "fake it till you make it" a lot, but like I feel like just don't fake it, just live it. Like just do it, and then
Yeah.
when you're in, and then then you've no choice.
I think as well, like, you know, it's trusting yourself that you can figure out what comes your way. And you know, you've learned so many new skills, so many new services, and you probably knew you didn't know. I'm sure you knew you didn't know everything to begin with, but like, did you just have the trust that you would figure things out as you went in terms of like getting clients, the new services, how to actually work with people?
Yeah, like I think maybe. I just thought it was going to happen. Like I didn't ever go, oh my God, what's going to happen? You know, what if it doesn't? I just was like, okay, this is just what I'm doing now, and it's going to work out. Like maybe that's a bit of a naive way of looking at things. I don't know, but and maybe because I had that, maybe I'm not going to call it easier, but with the first client on board so quickly, maybe that just helped me keep that positive mindset that it was just all going to work out. But yeah, like again, my background, I'm so used to just taking things up, picking things up so quickly and just rolling with it that I just was like, right, I'm going to learn all these new things and I'm just going to get really good at them and start getting clients. And lead generation is something I know how to do that, and I like doing that. So it's not something where I feel, oh God, I don't get that when I send out a cold DM
Yeah.
or when I send a message. I don't get that. So yeah, I never had it. Maybe a slight doubt a couple of months in where all my clients are maybe through word of mouth, and I was like, okay, am I actually able to attract clients myself from through other channels? But that's kind of gone away again now, because I'm in conversation with others, and I'm about to, I'm setting other new clients up as well. So I'm kind of, yeah, I don't know. I never had a doubt in you. I don't know.
No,
Maybe
I
that's your
love.
support as well, though, because you're such a hype woman, like, so maybe that's got a lot to do with it. I don't know. Yeah.
No, I do think there are decisions that you make on your own, regardless of the support of others. I think that like, you came into this with like it is going to work. Like, what do you mean? And I think honestly, sometimes that blind confidence in it is why you succeed. Because I shared that when I started, I was like, well, of course, we got one client, we can get, might take a while, but we can get 10. No, like no worries. Because when I think as well, when you have that like proof of concept, when you got a client so early on, you're just like, if there's one of her, there's more of her. If I can help her with these things and I'm actually making a difference in her business and actually making a great relationship, then there's more out there. So I definitely noticed a difference as well. I think you went MIA on social media for a while, but I also think sometimes that's okay when you're in the midst of working with a lot, like multiple clients that were new at the same time. So that does become a priority when you were time poor for a little bit. So you did what you had to do to kind of make them your priority, which I do think was the right thing to do because they turn into
Mm.
long-term clients. And then you kind of stepped back and went back on social media when you were kind of ready for the next phase. Because at one phase you were kind of like, okay, I'm kind of at capacity now. Like I just need to take a breather.
Yeah.
Until you like sorted out logistics at home and like what was going to be next.
No, exactly right. And like I think now that I'm like really into my own socials as well, like that's only going to benefit my own clients because now
Yeah.
I know every like the real run of it. Like I said, it
Yeah.
was all new to me, but now I really know the run of it, and it's become, you know, second nature now. Just make sure you have your week scheduled ahead and all that. So yeah, like obviously it would have been great to be keep doing that, but I genuinely didn't have the time between, having the lads, the two kids still full time, juggling the 4 or 5 clients that I had. It was, yeah, something had to give, and I'd rather take it away from my own socials and build that relationship, like you said, with my clients and make sure that they were all onboarded and working away. And yeah, and now I have the time, so it's all good.
Yeah, amazing. And then what have been some of the more like challenging parts or the parts you found like harder, or has there been any along the way?
The parts that are harder, sometimes I suppose it's just maybe to manage clients, not their expectations, but to make sure because they're not used to getting support. So it's kind of explaining to them how I work and how they need to feed me information so I can do the work for them. Maybe that's something that was maybe a bit of a struggle at the start, and maybe because I had all the clients kind of starting all at once, it was something that kind of made me go, oh God, it wasn't something that I could really hone in on for every client initially. But yeah, maybe that just maybe the onboarding part, maybe just explaining a bit better how to yeah, how to keep me working for them properly. Not that I'm constantly chasing them. Give me this, give me that. Don't
Yeah.
forget to send me this. That kind of a thing. Maybe that was the only thing that maybe was a little bit of a learning curve. But apart from that, I think everything's been going really well. Yeah, a bit of a learning curve at the start, just getting all the tools in place, getting my own system set up,
Yeah.
making sure that that was all in place, get my own Notion dashboard going, because I feel like that kind of took second place when I had all the clients going
Yeah.
at once, because I wanted to make sure that they were all good. But now again, I have that time, and I've been able to build all that out, and practicing what I preach. So yeah.
Yeah, no, amazing. And I guess as well, it's because you got clients so fast as well. You didn't necessarily have time to sit down and have everything 100% prepped ahead of time,
Mm.
figure out, what's the communication going to be? How are we going to work things?
Yeah.
What's the project timeline? Just because of I guess, how things like flowed for you, it was a little bit like we start here, we end up here, and then we go back.
Yeah.
So do you know what? Like anything though, you like it's every single client you work with a learning curve, and like you'll notice things. I'm sure you already have from like one client where you're like, okay, in the next relationship, we can do things even more efficiently and like stronger. I just think that like you learn from doing, and you learn from, none of these are like mistakes per se, but they're just like ways of doing things, and then you can kind of always build on that until everything is like super seamless.
Yeah, 100%. Like I wouldn't change it
Yeah.
because I was being scrappy, I was being reactive, but I had to learn from that to again tell myself that okay, you have to invest time in your own processes and your own systems and all that. So yeah, yeah,
I
there you
think
go.
as well, like for anyone else that's watching that maybe is in the early days or thinking about it, is I definitely found, and a lot of people do find this as well, that like when you're starting out, it's very different working relationship than like working full time for someone where they have like full access to you, where now you're in control. You need to decide when you work, what the hours are, what the communication is. I definitely think that that takes a little bit of getting used to, versus being like a full time employee, because now you're calling the shots when like you're just not used to that.
100%. And now that you mention that, that is something that I had to get strict on as well, is just with boundaries and when I'm
Yeah.
actually available online. And it's so easy to, not have notifications switched off for your WhatsApp, let's say, and then you see a message coming in, you say, "Well, I'll just check that. I'll just have a quick look at it." And like we've spoken about this before. If you're not sitting at your laptop and you can't action on a request or you can't action on a message, that's just eating in on your personal time where it's something that you have to revisit anyway tomorrow morning at 9. Why are you looking at it now tonight, 10 o'clock before you go to bed? Well, you
Yeah.
might be thinking for, 15, 20 minutes, can't do anything about it, and then see it again tomorrow. So they're little things that I think, again, and you learn that as you go on. It's very easy to say it at the start and say, oh no, I'll be so good
Yeah.
and I'll
Yeah.
have notifications on and my time is my time. But when you're, especially at the start where you're working in the evenings as well, and you might have your laptop open, but don't let it pull your. And again, it's so easy for me to say now because that was so 5 months ago. But don't let like a message come in at 10 or half 10 and let it drag you out of what you are doing, and then all of a sudden you were supposed to be going to bed at 11 or whatever, and now it's already 12. That kind of a thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, just setting those boundaries for yourself and just making them clear at the start with your clients, maybe. And I'm sure there'll always be clients who kind of send messages at whatever time, but they don't always expect a response. And to be fair, my clients are very good like that as well, that they'll just say, "Oh, sorry, it's just come to mind right now. I'm just leaving it here, and we can talk about it tomorrow," or whatever that is.
Yeah. And I think that's like a big thing as well, because a lot of business owners operate like that. Like I operate like that. Like I'll send my team messages random times when I think of something, but I never expect a reply or an action straight away. So I'm always like, please make sure I'm muted, archive, whatever you got to do so you don't see anything. Because, and I think even just learning that like when you're working with someone and they send you a message or an email, they're not actually expecting a reply. They're just getting it off their plate to action when you're back online. And I actually think a lot of people struggle with that, with, I guess, thinking they expect a reply, but most of the time they actually don't. It's definitely something that you just have to get used to. And I think you probably learned a lot from like, almost just like calling yourself out in the early days, being like, oh, why am I checking this? Like they don't want to reply now, or like nor do they expect it. It's very easily done. I think it's something you have to learn yourself from like doing it and then nipping it in the bud.
Yeah. Oh no, 100%. I think so too. And yeah, you want your evenings to yourself, or at least if you are working in the evenings, you know what you're doing and not getting pulled out of it all the time.
Yeah, absolutely. And then what does the future hold for the business? Anything exciting on the radar? What are you working on at the moment? Any services you're going to be planning to offer?
So yeah, just continue working with the clients that I have at the moment. They have some cool things coming up. Excuse me, like with the product launch, there's going to be PR around that. So creating PR packs and sending that out. Like
Amazing.
that's really exciting. Like that again, that's something that I never would have done, and something that I really look forward to doing. And it's the whole new process and things that I can, and I love upskilling, so I love doing stuff like that where it's something new, and then I can go, oh, that was good fun, and maybe I can offer that as a new service. So that's something. Once all that, I can package that into a nice service then, as well as I think it's something that might be needed. And then I'm speaking to a cool nutrition brand. So hopefully we'll be working together soon. And so I support mainly creatives in the hair and beauty industry, but I'll also look at other industries. And if we align, I think there's always room to support in that way.
Yeah, I love that. I think that like a lot of, service-based businesses, no matter what the service is, the business model is the same. So and the same because you're working with businesses who sell products. So I think between the experience you have with both of them, like you can work with a lot of businesses that embody that same business model, even though their end service or their end product is different. The way they run the business would be the same.
Exactly right. Yeah.
Oh, amazing. Okay, would you have any words of wisdom for anyone who is wanting to start a virtual assistant business, but I guess just fearful about starting?
So I would say get the help at the start. And this isn't just Neve because we're on the call together, but 100% I don't think, no, I know I wouldn't be where I am today if it wasn't for support of yourself and your team. Like, and have someone, like, even at home, have the buy-in from your partner or whatever that is. Like, it makes such a difference. My husband's been a huge supporter of mine, so he's been great. And I know we've had conversations about this as well, where he was literally like, why are you leaving a full-time, guaranteed, easy job to be doing something like this? And then once the clients started coming in, he was like, oh yeah, actually, that makes so much more sense. And selling him, okay, maybe I can drop the kids off and you won't need to, little things like
Yeah.
that. But yeah, that's it. I would just say at the start, first of all, go for it. If you want to do it, just go for it and get some support, because you're investing in yourself, and then the business will come on.
Okay, amazing. So yeah, also guys, my advice is just to actually start, like whatever it is, take some action today, like go into ChatGPT, like brainstorm business names, ideas, do something. I feel like there's such results in like building momentum and like getting the ball rolling, because all you need is like see a little bit of progress in order to have that kind of blind confidence that you're like, right, we're doing this, it's happening, I'm all in. um okay, amazing, Kerry, that has been a lovely, lovely conversation. Thank you so much.
Thank
If
you, Neil.
anyone, of course, if anyone has any questions for us, just pop them in the comments section of this replay, and myself or Kerry will get back to you. And yeah, thank you so much.
All right, take care.